Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or our channel. I haven't decided yet. I don't think he really wants to be a part of this, but it's fine. He loves me, so. Anyway, today we are going to do a Q&A because we're married, and it's kind of like a get to know us as we start this channel a little bit more, because I took a very long hiatus. I did the house tour months ago, and then our honey. So I did the house tour months ago. The house already looks very different than when it was shown to y'all. And then our wedding video is up, but that's all that we have. So I asked my Instagram followers, and Christian posted as well, asking for questions that they have for us, and we're gonna answer some of them today. So yeah, that's the point of today's video, is we're just gonna let y'all get to know us a little bit, because we're bored in the house and we're in the house bored. So I wrote down all of the questions that were legitimate questions that we are okay with answering, because yeah. I guess I'll go in order. I didn't put them in a certain order, they're just in how I received them. But what was your first kiss experience? Someone asked that. And I don't know if they mean between us or like in general our first kiss. So.
Probably us.
Yeah, because it's like our Q&A.
I know, yeah. It was before we were dating.
Right, we were not dating yet,
Yeah.
but we had already established we liked each other. We were talking for like a week, and then we started dating, because I was like, that's the stupidest. I could go on a rant about the talking phase. Yeah, it's dating. That's what dating is. Anyway, so we were not dating yet, but I had just broken up with your best friend.
Well, my best friend.
At the time, yeah,
but
he was.
He was definitely a good close friend, yeah.
Yeah, I had just broken up with him, and then we kissed in secret while I was waiting for my dad to pick me up from rehearsals, because neither of us were old enough to drive yet. So then we kissed. I remember like running to my dad's car, and he saw that you were sitting there with me, and he was like silent the entire drive home, because we hadn't like had the official like boyfriend talk yet. And I was sitting in the back so scared. I usually would sit in the front, but I did not want to sit in the front because I didn't want him to look at me. Anyway, that's it. We were babies.
It's a long story for something that was just like 10 seconds.
It was a very short kiss, and here we are. We have longer kisses now. No. That's what I said that. What's y'all's most memorable date? I guess we can both answer, like, our answer.
Sure, yeah. Ladies first,
okay.
Please.
Getting the cheesy answer out of the way, most memorable date is probably, I mean, it's for sure the picnic where we got engaged, but then before that, like, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
Well, it counts. Well, okay, then I guess that's my answer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
the picnic that he proposed to me at, or our first picnic ever, when you asked me to homecoming my sophomore year of high school.
Mm-hmm. Mine was actually a gift, but she got me tickets to go see Bowling for Soup, and that's my favorite band, and that was awesome. That was my favorite date.
I thought you were gonna say that.
And you look very attractive too.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
That's PG-13. Next, we got 3 baby questions back to back, so I just thought we would knock those out of the park. When is baby Campbell happening? Do y'all have baby names and timeline? Are y'all going to be strict parents? Who's going to be the fun one? So I guess that's 4, but that last one was like a whole conglomerate.
When is baby Campbell happening?
When God wants it to happen. We're not trying now, and we're taking precautions to not have a baby right now.
But we wouldn't be mad if it happened.
But if it happens, it happens. We both want to be young parents. It's going to happen in the next few years for sure. Hopefully, if that's God's plan. But right now, we are enjoying just being newlyweds and having 2 crazy dogs.
Yes.
So, yeah. And then Do y'all have baby names and timeline was the next one.
No timeline.
No timeline, like we just kind of answered that, but baby names, yes, and we're not going to share those because...
You'll hear them when they come.
Exactly. That was sassy. You'll know when you know, okay? Are y'all going to be strict parents, and who's going to be the fun one?
Strict parents. I mean, yes and no. Like we're gonna have an average amount of rules like normal people.
Yeah, like there won't be no rules, but it won't be like prison.
Yeah.
Like I think it's more we're gonna teach our kids morals, and then also like what God would want us to teach our kids. But ultimately, like you are your own person. You're gonna choose whether or not to follow our rules or not, and there will be consequences whether you choose.
Correct.
That. So who's going to be the fun one?
Me.
Definitely Christian. Yeah.
Do you actually think that now?
I've always thought that.
You used to say
I think I'm a fun person, but I can see myself, like, even with the dogs.
You'll definitely have the fun activities, I think.
Oh, yeah, because I'm, like, but you'll be the one that, like, lets them get away with things, or, like, gives them an extra 20 when I told them.
I don't know.
But,
we'll see, yeah.
I just think...
I don't know.
You're going to be, like, a sly fun one, and I'm going to be, like, I'm goofy all the time, kind of. But you're going to be, like...
Goofy for them.
Or, like, if I... You'll be goofy too.
I think I don't know.
I think you'll be the fun one. I just think you're gonna be less strict about rules. I definitely think that. Or like
it depends on what it is.
Obviously. If they like curse and they're like a child in front of you, like you won't freak out, you'll laugh at it. Whereas I would be like, you can't say that. So that's what I mean by like the fun one. I think we're both gonna be fun. I think we're gonna have a great time. General relationship advice. Was a question?
At first, you know, like, well, just in general for relationships, I would say, it's okay to be selfish with what you want because, sometimes the relationship's not good for you and you need to realize that. If it is good for you, realize that it's good for you and, that, you know, in terms of a man, sorry, there's distraction happening in front of us.
I think what I would say, like my 3 like basic things are make sure y'all have the same morals and religion or beliefs, because down the line if things get serious and you are raising a kid and you want them under your beliefs and they have different ones, that just is a recipe for disaster. So making sure y'all are either equally yoked, like with faith, or, you know, on the same belief system with your morals and how you want to like build your life. And then I also think communication is really important. It was really hard for me at first in our relationship. My family really bottles up all of our emotions and our problems and our feelings, and his family is very outspoken about how they're feeling and when they're feeling it. And so we had this huge divide in I would never tell him if something was wrong or if something was bothering me, and eventually I kind of had to grow out of that, and it's really hard to do, especially when you have been like that your whole life. But yeah, communication is definitely important. And then also like I think I've had several friends come up to me and ask me, like, they're in long-term relationships and the honeymoon phase kind of dies down. And I've always just said, like, it's not because you don't love it. Honey! Hello!
Go ahead, continue.
It's not because you don't love them anymore or that, you know, you're over them. It's bound to happen, and I think that media and, you know, Hollywood, movies, even romance novels, like, heighten that expectation. I love Christian so much, but there are also days where I'm like, that guy is so annoying, especially when he's, like, farting and being and playing a bunch of video games. But I would, I can't explain it.
Honeymoon phase comes in waves. Like,
yeah.
There's times where I love her more than anything, you know? I do love her.
Well, I love you more than anything, but I mean, like,
there's times where, like, I express that, I should say.
Yeah.
Know? And then there's definitely times where I want my space a little bit.
Yeah. So, and I think that there's just this high expectation to be like absolutely in love and absolutely like romantic and like fulfilling all of these like romantic like scenarios in your head constantly, when that's just really unrealistic, and it's going to lower, it's going to make you less excited if you're expecting that.
I think it's important for you to be romantic, like at least two to 4 times a month.
Oh, okay.
Like have like a romantic like date or something.
Yeah, we have like a date night every week. It's not. I feel like we sound like old people. It's not that we don't love each other. We're newlyweds. We're very much in love, and I love our life together, and I'm overjoyed that you're my person. It's just like I've had friends like in 3-year commitments, and they're like, do I love him anymore, or am I just comfortable, blah, blah, blah. And we even broke up for a time because I was feeling that same way. And then I realized, I was like, the honeymoon phase isn't gonna last forever. So that's my relationship advice. Do y'all argue? If so, what about?
Of course we argue.
Yeah, I'm like, everyone argues. I don't think we argue very often.
It's important to, if something differs in a matter, if oh my gosh. Okay, it's important that if you have a differing opinion about something, to express it, if it is important. I think and we argue when it's not important too. I'm not saying we don't do that, but I think we get to a point where we realize this is not important and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And we eventually get to we don't need to be arguing about this.
Yeah, I think, and the next question's, what's the stupidest thing y'all have ever thought about? I think that was recent. I think our last fight was like a month ago, and it was over how many kids we're gonna have, and it was like a legitimate fight, and like we rarely have actual fights. We have like more debates, like when we argue, and it's more like a debate on things, because you're very like a logistic thinker, but when we actually like argue, the last one was how many kids we were gonna have, and ultimately like that's not up to us, that's up to God. Are y'all planning on moving out of Denton? Where? Yes. We don't know where, but I want to leave Denton as fast as possible. And then they ask where. We don't really know, wherever he gets a job, but I know that we've talked mainly about Austin, Atlanta, or Los Angeles. So, what? Oh, I skipped a question. We'll go to that next. What was your first job?
My first job I was a lifeguard.
Oh yeah, you were.
Yep, I was a lifeguard.
I was hoping
for 2
you
years.
would tell them about how you worked at Abercrombie.
No.
That
was my first job.
My first job was a nanny, which is what I currently am. And then, but like my first like job, I guess, was I worked at a boutique called Altered State at our local mall in Galveston.
I will say, lifeguarding was probably my second favorite job I've ever had. I also worked at Abercrombie and Old Navy. And those 2 jobs were probably my least favorite.
Yeah,
Retail's not fun.
Not good. It's not. I think I'm glad that we both worked retail and restaurant, because we both worked at Chewy's Tex-Mex together.
Yes, I love,
That's a fun place to work.
Yeah.
I will say though,
it's more stressful, but it's more fun.
Working in a restaurant and working in retail gives you way more respect for the people that currently work there, and you understand like things happen, and I just feel like, not to like boast on ourselves, but we're definitely way more courteous to our servers and more aware of what goes on behind the scenes, and so I'm glad that we've both experienced it, because I feel like we're better people because of it.
Yeah, I will say, when I was a waiter, that was probably the most stressful time of my life. It's a fun job, but it's not just that. It's also I had school to worry about and everything like that.
Yeah.
So it was, a mix of both of those.
Ooh, I also worked at Nothing But Cakes, and sadly, I can't eat their cakes anymore. So you know, if you're gonna work somewhere that you like love, be careful. You may not love it when you're done working there. Okay, this was the question I was laughing at. How well do you think you could handle prison? I was like, what is this question? Hopefully I never have to find that out.
Prison? Yeah, I don't know.
Prison.
I watched some Prison Break movies. I don't think I'd ever break out of prison, but they have more. They talk about what goes on during prison, and that's just kind of what it looks like from like a film standpoint. So still, it's not actually prison.
Yeah. I couldn't handle prison. That's how well I would handle prison. Is I wouldn't. Okay, we only have 3 more questions. How has married life changed y'all?
I've always told her this because we've been at a point where we've been together 7 years before marriage. Pretty much like 5 years in, I think I felt like I was married to her.
Yeah.
People all called us an old couple that were our friends, all starting around that time. Like
even before that, like even when I was like a junior in high school, people were already like, they're like an old married couple.
Yeah, I think it's just because relationships don't usually get that long at our age. And I honestly feel like we found out a lot of that marriage type questions and how to live with each other before we were married.
Yeah.
So I think the ring and the ceremony.
We talked about it all like so much.
Okay.
You want to be in the video for a second? Come here. Say hi. Oh, you're wet. That was a mistake.
Okay, but yeah. So I think the wedding and the ring were just symbols of
like partying that we got married.
Yeah, we got to party that we officially
just had a party.
Put the symbol on it because I think we were married. A couple years.
Like in a sense of like we knew we were gonna marry each other. We were like it. You were my end game.
Yeah.
Like we just knew. So we already acted like we talked about our future. We, when I moved into the house, he helped me decorate. Well, no, you didn't help me decorate. But you knew that it was also going to be your house and all that jazz. So it has not, to answer your question, it has not really changed at all. Are y'all super religious or just kind of religious, if that makes sense?
We pray. We pray before we eat. We pray before bed. I don't know what constitutes as super religious to you. We go to church when we can or feeling up to it. I will say that we don't go to church
We've
every
been
week.
slacking recently.
And we pray before food and before we go to bed. So if that's super religious to you, and we believe it, we believe it all.
It's not just like doing it because we're used to it or we're supposed to do it. Like, I also journal regularly, and I practice worship music, and I'm always listening to worship music. Also, like, I dive into my faith a lot. We're different in that sense. Like, you have more of you talk with God regularly. I do too, but I also feel the need to like dig deeper, and you're very much like, it is what it is. I'm going to follow God, and I'm going to love God and his people. I think my job as a Christian is to love God and his people and not judge them and focus on, it's my job to show you God's love, and it's your choice, and it's between you and God what your faith is, what your faith isn't. I'm just going to love you anyway, so deal with it. Our last question is favorite moment from the wedding and the honeymoon.
The wedding the whole thing was my favorite moment. I can't pick one. We were blessed with a great wedding.
But also the getting married part, that was my favorite.
I was almost more excited about surprising my mom than I was about getting married.
Yeah, that's a good moment. Tell them.
We told our mom and her dad, the first dance, or like the dance with the mom and the dance with dad.
Yeah, mother-son dance,
yeah,
father-daughter dance.
We told them to pick a song that they'd like to dance to, and we didn't care what they said because we didn't use it.
Yeah.
We surprised them with songs that meant a lot to us for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose
You'll
Be in My Heart from Tarzan. And the story behind that is I always used to go to sleep listening to the soundtrack to Tarzan, and I'd never make it past the first song. And that song makes my mom like cry because she just remembers me as a little baby now. And so that's the song I picked, and as soon as it came on, she started crying immediately.
Yeah, that was sweet. Yeah, that was a good one. And then, Honeymoon. Okay, last thing, Honeymoon.
Right.
So, do you know your favorite moment?
My favorite moment? No, I don't really. I mean, I don't have like a favorite moment for that either. Just being able to do stuff on your honeymoon. If like this is serious. We didn't lounge around very much at all on our honeymoon.
No.
And it's overrated. You don't need to.
Yeah, relaxing on the beach is not our jam.
Do stuff. Go do stuff. It's so much more fun. Like, when I have a vacation, I want to do things. I don't want to just relax.
Disclaimer. Not that that's a bad thing. It's up to you. Right. But we would highly encourage exploring and doing other things. I had several friends that have gone married and went to the beach, which is great.
I just think it's so much more memorable if you go out and do stuff, because when I go on vacation, I want to be out there doing stuff. Like, you're so much more
and,
stuff to remember.
Learning about the culture and like seeing things you'll never get to see.
Right, and because to me, you can relax at home, you know?
Yeah. Like, once the honeymoon's over and you're back at home, you're like, what?
You're going to want to relax.
Yeah. But it's like, what now? We're married. We went to Dublin. We went to Ireland. We kind of went all over, but we stayed in Dublin and Limerick in Ireland. I was kind of in charge of the entire trip. Christian knew we were going to Ireland, but he didn't really know anything of what we were doing.
We had 3 days too, though.
And we had a couple of free days where we just like walked around the town and got, just like hung out and did whatever, or slept in. But the very first day, we woke up and we went on a tour and we saw the Carrick Reed Rope Bridge and then Giant's Causeway. But there was like one moment where Christian was on the bus and he saw the water for the first time, and I knew what was coming, but he was so excited that there was water, and he was nudging me like, look, and he started taking pictures of the window of the water, and I was like, just wait, but he like refused to wait, and he just like kept taking these photos, and then we finally got to the destination, and I was like, now we're actually over by the water, and like it was just so cute. Like, he was so excited. But it was my favorite thing was I knew all of the things we were going to be doing, and so it was great to see it in person, and it was like life-changing because I've always wanted to go to Ireland, but it was just so fun watching him see everything because he had absolutely no knowledge of what we were going to be doing. So he was like mind blown every day, like of something different that we did. But yeah. I want to add, going to like the local like grocery stores and stuff is so fun.
Oh yeah.
Because there's so many like wacky things there. And I mean, not wacky, but just like not here, not in the US.
And trying like a fast food place that isn't in America is fun too.
Nando's.
Yeah, Nando's.
Nando's was so good. If you were a One Direction fan like me, you know all about Nando's, and you knew I had to go there. So anyway, we'll end the video with One Direction because that's a good way to end it. Anyway, thanks so much for being here. If you want to watch more of us, we've got nothing but time on our hands until at least May 20th. It was announced today. So there will be more videos, so if you want to like and subscribe, maybe even turn the notifications on, definitely do that. And also comment down below any other video ideas you have, or if you have more questions, maybe we'll do another one of these. I think next I'm going to make you do my makeup, so
oh boy,
watch out for that. But anyway, bye guys, have a good one, stay safe, wash your hands.
Bye.
Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, bye.